Hey, it's Sharon and Sarah here from Content Sparks. And in this training, we are going to be talking about epic blog posts and content upgrades and how you can create a mini funnel. Then you combine those with a few emails and link together your blog posts, so your blog and your email marketing platform. All right, don't worry if it sounds confusing. We're going to go through it step by step. So first, we're going to be talking a little bit about what an epic blog post is and what a content upgrade is, how you can use them because they're not just for list building, and then we'll go through it all step by step. All right, so I'm going to shift over to Sarah first to talk about epic blog posts.
Lots of people get fixated on the idea that a blog post is 300 words or less because that's what Yoast in its little traffic light system says you need. You need 300 words to get a green light. And what that means is they create really short form pieces of content that don't go deep and leave the reader unsatisfied. And they return to Google, which means you have a high bounce rate on your website, and they find another piece of content. Now, there's a marketer called Neil Patel, and he done some research, and he discovered that everything on the front page of Google was long-form content. And whilst that may not be the sole reason that they're on the front page of Google, it's part of the reason. And long-form content is deemed to be anything over around 1,100 plus words. And as I put it with my clients, it's 300 words a day. So if you did 300 words every single day, at the end of 7 days, you would have a long form piece of content once you've edited out all the bits and pieces and the bits that make sense, and the fluff and the filler, right? So long form content isn't something that you can create easily. It takes a lot of your own effort in terms of research, and then you've got to do your 300 words a day. Then you've got to smoosh all those words together, and then you've got to edit it. So it is a really high energy piece. But the people who come over to your site when you create a long form piece of content, they stay, they read, and if it's good, they take additional actions. Particularly somebody who will read at 2,000 words is more inclined to buy your book, your course, opt in for your lead magnet, whatever you're asking for at the end, because they can see your knowledge and your expertise, and they can see the hard work that you've put in to this piece of content. So they reciprocate back in really grand ways. And from epic blog posts, I've sold courses. I've had one blog post where I sold 7-figure contract to an international motor company. Another one where I sold 10,000 worth of coaching in one day, which really surprised me. It shouldn't have, but it did. And another one that I have fills up one of my Facebook groups, and it's got 43,000 members in it. And I often see people running around saying things like, how do I fill my Facebook group? And how do I get clients? And the answer is epic blog posts, obviously. But for some reason, they just want to run around like headless chickens. And we're really glad that you're here with us today, discovering how these are going to help grow your business, because these are phenomenal. But there's a missing piece of the ingredient. You can't just have the epic blog post on its own. You need something else. You need a content upgrade. And I'm going to hand you back to Sharon to talk to you about that.
All right, so as Sarah said, these are meaty posts. People are going to spend time on them. They're going to rank higher in Google and other search engines. It's what people are looking for. So what are you going to do with those people? They could just click over to other blog posts as well, but you have their attention. So if you don't do something specific with them, you're kind of leaving money, leaving leads on the table. That's what I like. You know, people always talk about, I'm leaving money on the table. Well, that's what you're doing if you don't take advantage of the epic blog post and have them take a very targeted action as part of your funnel. Because ultimately, if you have a business, you're going to want to be selling something. To sell something, you need to know who would be interested in buying it and market to those people. So with an epic blog post, you can offer a freebie, a lead magnet, what we call a content upgrade inside that post. So this is it's personalized content at its best and at its easiest. That's a term that you hear thrown around a lot, personalized content. That is what a content upgrade is. And it's as simple as having a freebie like a worksheet or a checklist or something else, a template that will help people take the next step with the topic in that blog post. And all you have to do is deliver it to them, but ask for their email address first, their name and email address. So you can connect up your blog post, your email marketing platform, and just immediately start collecting those targeted leads, those high quality leads. It makes all your marketing much more efficient because you know who you're targeting, you know what they're interested in already. And it's also a way to judge how many people are interested in different topics. So say you have 3 different blog posts, epic blog posts on 3 different topics with a content upgrade in it. You can see which ones are more popular, so you know where to address more, where to put more of your time and effort in for your marketing. So again, content upgrade is a lead magnet or freebie that you offer right inside that blog post that is directly related to the blog post topic. Now, I said list building, so that's like one of the first ones that you would think of when you think content upgrade. But there are a lot of other things you can be using that combination for, the content upgrade and the blog post. So that's what we're going to go through next, because Sarah, you already talked about maybe selling products. That's one thing, getting clients that you use with your epic blog posts. But there are other things that you can do as well. So talk about 1 or 2 of those that you've done before, because you've mentioned things to me before.
Okay, I'm going to actually share screen. I'm going to break the internet now. I'm going to show you my Kindle book group. And let me find it. Here we go. And as you can see, I have 43,000 members in there. And people come in and share their free Kindle books. And every day I get a couple of 100 people come over and join the group. Now, one of the things that I'm often being asked and being seen on Facebook and other things is, how do you get people into your group? Well, that's where the epic blog post comes in. And I'm just going to share you the screen again. And I'm going to show you where I rank in Google for an epic blog post. I'm just finding that here. And as you can see, one of my sites, Content Nitro here, epic blog post, 72 places to promote your free Kindle book. And right at the top of that blog post, and I'll click the blog post, and I hope you can still see it.
Yep.
Facebook for promoting. There it is, my group. So I get people come in to this blog post every single day, and they click this link and they go and join my Facebook group. So I have no trouble at all filling my Facebook community. And that blog post works for me 24/7, 7 days a week, never complains. Lots of people have scraped that and done skyscraper content with it. And if you haven't got next level content, you need to possibly get that to learn how to do this if you want to do that kind of epic list post. But get this pack first. Oh, I've let the cat out of the bag. There's a pack, haven't I? Oh, gosh. Sorry.
There's a variety of them.
And so you can have this in place. People can scrape that. They still take your group with them. They still take your group as a resource, and it still gets clicks from other people's websites, and they still come into your group. So it's a win-win all round. But
Mhm.
the reason that's #1 in Google for a really competitive search phrase is because lots of people link to it. Because epic content that's seen as really valuable by your audience, is loved by people who are looking to link to really valuable things to show their audience. Go on, Sharon, tell your story.
So as one example of that, and with SEO, with getting ranked, you do want to get good quality links coming in. So you want to get other sites to link to your content. And one example of that, for one keyword that we rank for, is an article on core values. So I'm going to share the screen now as well. I wasn't going to show this yet, but I will now. Okay, so this is a free download, big list of core value words. And you can see if I put into Google value words, I believe I come up #1. And there it is. #1 is free download, big list of core value words. Well, the New York Times recently had an article in one of their subscriber newsletters, so that this isn't even something publicly on a web, it's just for their newsletter. And they linked to this blog post, this one on big list of core value words. So what happened? I got a slew of visitors and readers, but because I had an opt-in form in here, this is one of these big list posts. People love the big long list posts. You can see it goes on for a long time. I had an option to download that list and got over 700 subscribers, something like that, in just a couple of days. So that is one of the things that you can happen. So I now have more subscribers, but I also have a link from the New York Times, which is a very obviously high authority site. So that should give me some juice for the whole rest of my site as well, not just that one page. And that's
Do we
all
get
from an
to
epic
say,
blog post.
as seen in New York Times, and put a little star around it? So
Exactly.
the epic blog posts are really, really exciting things to have, because as you can see, it pours in people to my group. It's poured in subscribers to Sharon's content upgrade. And these people are going to get so much value from all of the things that Sharon offers. So it's a really good thing for your audience to have the epic list post with the content upgrade to make the blog post funnel. Now, what normally happens here is people say, oh, this is really, really hard to do. Why should I do this? And we've all covered the why. And the next question is, this is really, really hard. How do I do this? So, guess what? We're going to show you.
Demo time. This is
Yep.
the step-by-step. Okay, I'm going to leave this to you, Sarah, so that just one of us is going
Okay.
through and showing the step-by-step using one of our done-for-you epic blog post packs. So, Sarah, you mentioned it earlier that we do have some of these done for you. You could do it all yourself, but not necessarily. And Sarah's going to show you using some of the tools that we use, but it works the same way in pretty much every tool. So I'll just hand it to you now and mute myself.
Okay. So as you can see on the screen, I have one of the ones that you can get. And I'm really excited by this, because if you've got the teaching online course or creating online course or any of the online course kits that Sharon has done in the last year or so, then this is going to be fantastic. So first of all, I'm just going to copy the headline and hop over to Sharon's site. Right, it's just loading up. Look at that. Perfect timing. So as you can see, I've got my headline here and I have my content area here. So what I'm going to do is, we have a specific format with Content Sparks, and we have a narrow funnel of content, we have our image, and then we have our table of contents. And as you can see, I'm just laying that out now so that it's in a familiar format before I go and paste over the content. And I'm just looking for our table of content. And you know what? I can't find it. Where are you? Oh, there it is, right up the top. Right, so I have very quickly, using Thrive Architect, created the layout of the blog post. And the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take the content and paste it in. So here's the opening paragraph. Ooh, that's too much there for that space. So I'm going to take that and I'm going to stick it here. And then I'm going to go back and get the rest of the blog post. And believe me, this is a lot of copying and pasting because there are a lot of words. I think this one's around 1,200 words, give or take a few words.
I think it's even more. It might be over 1,500, this one.
Ooh. And I'm now just going to make my H2 headlines and adjust the piece of content accordingly. And there we go. Now we'll do this, and then I'm going to change this one to a H3. Now, one of the things that's hard for people is getting their keywords in. Oops, what have I pressed there? Don't press that. And having the keywords in the headline and then pulling it into the table of contents gives us an extra place where we've got all of the SEO keywords ready for Google to understand our post better and for the readers to understand what they're getting in terms of content in the post. And when I refresh that in a moment, it will look fabulous. And as you can see, just pasting it in is taking a couple of minutes, but that's because I'm using Thrive Architect. If you use something like Elementor or one of the other ones, Beaver Builder, it will still take just as long. If you use WordPress, you can probably import it using one of the monster doc importers, but you're still going to have to go back and do all of the things that I've just done. So don't think if you use a certain tool you'll save lots of money. Don't quite always work like that. Oh, so when I do that, I have this and it lays out the steps like that. Now, I'm actually going to adjust it because I don't like it. Right, where's it gone? Edit table of content. No, I'm not going to change that. I'm pressing all the buttons today, I tell you.
Right. The point is, you can play with this, and once you have it done, you can save it as a block or a template to use in the future for every other epic blog post that you have as well. And this is all decoration.
Yeah, you can see it's very easy to get into your blog. In 2 or 3 minutes, you've got your epic blog post there. And we've got our introduction here. So we need to customize it to Content Spark. So
I like it. This is a nice introduction about online courses and teaching them yourself, which is related to us, since this post is just Sarah doing a demo of editing it for us, you would be doing something relevant to you.
Yeah. One of the things doing the content on the blog post of Content Sparks is reassuring the person they're in the right place, because they may not have heard of PLR, white label courses, white label content. So they could come over here and not have to worry about that for the moment. I'm going to learn a bit about online courses and I'm quite passionate about it. And they're telling me this post is for me. They're making the reader feel safe. And for us, that's a big part of the Content Sparks brand, that they're not, this is PLR straight away, or this is white label content straight away. We're giving them time to adjust to what they're looking for, giving them the great value content, and then showing them that they don't have to do it all on their own, because it really is scary creating online courses. And if you've been a long time follower of Content Sparks, you'll know how stress relieving it is to have some content already done for you that you can insert your case studies and your own experiences. So we customize this for our audience here. Now, if you do yoga teachers, you want to mention, are you a yoga teacher excited about online courses, so that it's personal to them? Okay, so we'll go down here, and here we have what is an online course, and then we have why teach online courses, and I quite like them, so I'm going to leave them. But what I would normally recommend is you actually change these H2 headers, that you personalize them to your audience. But because it's Content Sparks content and it seems to fit what we're looking for right now, I'm actually going to leave them the same. Now, if I was using this piece of content on my own site, I would be changing that to, do I really need an online course? Couldn't I do it elsewhere? Because every single person that you suggest an online course to will say, can I do it elsewhere? Why does it have to be online? So I would adjust that headline to fit my audience, who are bloggers and content creators, and they're quite skeptical at times. So once you've got this in, go down and adjust your H2 headers to fit your audience. You might even want to call out your audience a couple of times. Now, here, I'm actually going to turn them into bullets, and I'm going to bold these. So as somebody skims down the post, it catches their eye and draws them into the content. And you've got to remember that even with big epic posts, people will still skim them. So we want them to see things and think, oh, I want to know a bit more about that. Oh, I didn't highlight that last letter there. So as you can see, it's really easy to go through the content and make it fit your audience. Now, you don't have to do big chunks of rewriting. You can just do bits of adjustment to the layout, highlighting, changing the headings, adding words in, bolding things, making them bullet points, and so on. Now, I might not call it choose your topic. I might say, oops, capitalize the C. Choose your online course topic, because this is about online courses, and yes, you can do them offline and all of that, but it's one of my keywords, so I'm going to pop that in. Identify your audience for your course. Whilst you might think this is keyword stuffing, you also got to remember that people skim, and I've mentioned it several times that they skim. So they come down here, I've got my online course topic, I don't need, identify the audience for my online course. Oh yes, and that's when they stop. Yeah? So whilst you might think, oh gosh, that's an awful lot of mention of online course, what we're actually doing is using the language that they would use to pull them in and stop them scrolling and pull them into the content. So once you've done your editing and your tweaking and things that will stop the scroll, oh, look at these. These are all lovely bullet points again. And we pull them in like so. Now, you don't have to have these as bullet points. You could actually make them little blocks. So you could have alternate colors, light, dark, and you can have social media, your blog and website, and all of that in each of the boxes. There's lots of things you can do to make it different from just copying and pasting it up there. And none of this takes a huge amount of time. I think we've spent, what, 5 or 6 minutes on this, and here we are at the end. We're ready to create an online course with impact. So this is where we encourage people to join our email list. Now, we can do that very simply and quickly in Thrive. We just go down to the lead generation option and drop it in like so. Now it asks us, which template do we wish to use? Now we've got opt-in forms here, and I think I'm probably going to use this little one. And as you can see, very little. And over here, I can go back and grab an image and stick it to the left of it. I'll just stick that there for now. Make it a bit small and move it over. Now, it's always good to have a visual representation of your content upgrade. Even if they print it out and it never looks like that document because the content upgrade has a different cover, they need to visualize what they're actually getting. So the next step is to edit our form elements. And we don't say subscribe now, we say download your free worksheet. Okay. Now, I think I've pressed the Canva. I pressed Canva. Yeah. Can you see that?
Nope.
I don't think you can.
Nope.
All right, I'm going to stop sharing and share the Canva screen.
So now we're moving to a different piece of content. You have your blog post, and you're ready to work on the content upgrade.
Yep. So Sharon's shared this template with us. It's in your content upgrade pack. There's a separate PDF, and you just click the link and it brings you over to Canva. Now, with Canva, there are some elements that are paid elements, and there are some elements that are free. And usually the paid elements are images. And the first thing I'm going to do is, I can see here it's Content Sparks, and we've got some tips, where to delete, change the colors to fit our brand, the logo, adjust any of the questions if need be, and then download and save as a PDF. So I'm going to take that out. The last thing we want is all of the customers who come and get our content upgrades seeing Content Sparks on our ones. But because it's the Content Spark, I'm going to leave these here. Now, if this was on my website, I would be pressing the delete button on that. So don't think you have to leave the imagery in. You absolutely should replace it. Now, I'm actually going to change the color. And you can see I can do this with one click. So it's not the dark blue. It's all customized. Famous last words. We've got a dark blue here that isn't. There we have it. And then at the end, and Content Spark buttons are orange. Now we've also included this little mock-up here again so that the people can visualize the course that you're promoting. It may not be a course that you're promoting. You may want to get them on a call. If that's the case, just delete this out and put in click here to book a call instead of join my course. So you don't have to send them to a course, although it works well if you do. And then once you've added in your customizations, all you have to do is go to download, and it's suggesting PNG. We need to say PDF print quality and then download. Now I'm going to stop sharing and go back to the Content Sparks website. So better find StreamYard again.
Are you going to upload that as well?
Yep.
Okay.
Okay. Where are you? Is that it? No.
And obviously you can add other decorations and stuff, but you don't want to make it too wild crazy because people are going to print it and then want to write on it, and you don't want to have so much that's too much distraction on your worksheets. Just your branding.
So we've customized the opt-in for the lead magnet. Here we've got teach online courses. That's not the relevant image, but you can take that little mock-up that we put at the end of the content upgrade. You can duplicate that page and then delete all the other ones and use that mock-up and create a little image that fits there. And now we're over here. Now to the left, you can see add connections. Now this is already set up on Sharon's site. I'm not going to show you how to connect it to whatever email thing that you're using. It really is a 30-second thing, and you can see it connects to Active Campaign. And then we choose our list, and we have a list here. We're going to put them on Content Sparks main list, and then we choose a form. Again, this is already set up, so we're going to choose the free content, and here I'm going to add the tag, which will be teach online worksheet. Now enter, and that will all be pulled through to Active Campaign, and then I'll click apply, and that's it. We're done. However, we're not quite done because I want to expand out. I want to add in their name. Yep, name, apply, and I want to make that above. Oh, and there we go. Now we can do a couple of things here. If I scroll down on the left, I can redirect to a custom URL, or I can send it to a specific download. So here I'm going to save the work, and I'm going to open up another page on Content Sparks, and then I'm going to reshare with you all. This is where I need 17 monitors. You're doing really well telling me today, Sharon. You normally tell me, didn't you? You normally say, you need another monitor, Sarah. And you're doing really well keeping that tucked away. Right, so we now are over at the media library. And here we're going to drop in the PDF that we've just created and downloaded from Canva. I'm going to take that URL and copy it. And then I'm going to go back to that blog post that we were just on. I'm waiting for the day where StreamYard will let me show whatever page I want. And here I can add in the document. So as soon as they've submitted the details, the next thing they're presented with is the content download. Now, I'm only doing it this way today because I don't have enough time on the call to set up a custom page. Now, what we would normally do is set up a little page and say, thank you, here's your worksheet. And by the way, if you're interested in teaching online courses, take a look at this course kit. Now, of course, we don't have time to do that today. but I will say what we've done.
This is the
Because
quick and easy way too. If you're in a rush and want to just get it started, get this up there, this is a very, very simple way to do it so that you can get it out there, and then you can go back and make any changes that you want to make in your funnel. So, and some people don't want to wait for their content, so this is a best practice for some gurus suggest. Just give them the content and then have them confirm their email afterwards and send email follow-ups. So perfectly legit way to do it.
I'm muted. If I had more time, I would do a custom page. Sometimes you might want to have a generic page saying thank you for downloading the worksheet and not being specific. Other times you want to be really specific and say, here's how to customize this specific worksheet and do a mini training. It's entirely up to you. But if you don't have it on there, you don't get the leads. So when the New York Times links to you, you don't get 700 new subscribers in 24 hours. So you have to have these ready the minute your epic post goes up. Now, there's always somebody who says, I don't have an email list. How do I use this when I don't have an email list? Well, guess what? We've got another secret weapon for you. And I'm just going to get my own site up for you right now. So maybe 30 seconds as I find the post for you. And I'm going to share now. I have it all ready to go. As you know, we like to show you alternative ways of doing things that other people don't talk about. So here's a blog post from the blogging challenge, and this is on my site. And here we talk about getting found by buyers instead of browsers, because keywords and keyword research, people have different intentions. And I talk about people who go into stores and, you know, the assistant approaches them and they bite their heads off. And the truth of the matter is they're just browsing. They're not really ready to buy. They're just looking, and they might make an impulse purchase, but ultimately they're just looking at the clothes and seeing if something grabs their attention. Then I talk about going in to go shopping on payday. And when the assistant approaches, you give them very specific information, as in you need a black suede pair of kitten heels, size 6. You're prepared to be flexible on the suede, but they do have to be black. They do have to be a kitten heel, and they do have to be a size 6. Now, when somebody types in black kitten heel, size 6 into a search engine, that's a buying signal. They're not saying black kitten heels and just looking to see which ones are. The minute they put in their shoe size, they're sending out to the world that they have the intention of buying. So that's what this post does. It talks all about that. And when we get to the bottom, we say, oh, look, there's some bonus content here. If you tweet, I don't think you can see the pop-up that happens. Hopefully that's showing that I've just tweeted. And when I finish tweeting, there is my content upgrade. So you can see that's in place. Now, this is done with a free plugin called Content Locker for WordPress. And all you do is add in a shortcode. And I don't know if the edit is going to open on StreamYard. Can you see the edit?
Yes, you can see it.
Right. Okay. So all I do to the post is add that here, this little shortcode, and then I give the instructions, right click and save as to your desktop, and then the link to the content upgrade, and then the end shortcode. So it is that simple, just this little bit here, this little bit here, and instructions and link in the middle. So even if you are not building an email list, you can use an epic list post to generate more traffic to your website. And some of that traffic that comes over are going to be interested in what you offer. They're going to browse your shop. They're going to click the contact and get in touch with you. So if you're sitting here thinking this is all really good, but I don't have an email list, I don't have the budget for an email list, or I don't have the time for it, you can still use epic posts and content upgrades to bring in a slew of traffic to your site. Because once it's shared on social media, other people will think, oh, what's that? And click. And before you know it, you've got a really nice traffic loop going on. So I would recommend that if you are selling something, you mention that too, either in the PDF or in the little content locker box. By the way, if you'd like more information on this, click here or whatever it is. So you have a nice call to action. So if you're not interested in content upgrades to build an email list, you can actually use them to drive a slew of traffic to your site and have other people do the heavy lifting for you.
Exactly. And you can use the blog posts and the content upgrades on other places as well. You don't have to just use it on your blog. So I know we've been talking about, and Sarah's been showing you the step-by-step on the actual blog and list building and embedded in there. But you can also use it, like with our other blog posts, as a live stream script. You could break it up as an email series. You can have that content upgrade as a bonus, for instance, for staying until the end of a webinar or a live stream. You can have, you could even have people opt in for the content upgrade on a separate tab in your Facebook group, because in a lot of platforms like ActiveCampaign, that's one of the integrations you can do. So I was thinking I will show you also a couple other ways inside at least my email marketing platform. That's one of the things we didn't show you because that does require a few more steps. So I can show you it already set up. All right. So Sarah, I'm going to go ahead and share my screen now as well. Okay.
Mm-hmm. And while you're doing that, I'll give another spoiler alert. You get follow-up emails in the pack. Right, now I've dropped that there. We've got the screen up.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and that's what I'm going to show you in this list, in this this blog post that I talked about before with the core values, the one that the New York Times linked to. This is the Thrive form. You can see it's similar to what Sarah was just showing you. We just added a little more styling and added a little picture that is actually a picture of the free thing that they get. Now, this, as Sarah was showing, is linked. We link ours in Thrive over to ActiveCampaign. And first, actually, let me show you the form. So in ActiveCampaign, you can just create a form. And that was the one, the free content one is the one that Sarah showed you that was already set up. And for this other one, the core values one, here it is. I created that. And the nice thing with using it with Thrive is I don't have to add any styling here. But if you wanted, you could, if you don't have something like Thrive leads like we use, you can also just connect something like ActiveCampaign to your WordPress or anything else. I also can show you Lead Pages is another tool that we use, and connect it there and use that code and just stick it right in the HTML of your blog post. So here, all I have to do is set the fields, and then I could do style if I'm going to embed it, but also you want to have the options. So in Thrive, we already added the tag, but you can set your options here, which list you want to subscribe them to, which tag. All right, you're going to want to do that to trigger the automation with the email follow-up. So you can set all these settings here versus something like Thrive Leads. You can open a thank you page. You can have it go directly to a download page. So that can be the open the URL. You can have the tag, the subscribe, and then have that trigger an automation. So here I can actually click on trigger automation, and it's going to automate. It's going to open up the one that I've already set up. Okay. And this is, sorry, it's just taking a second here. So this is one automation that's triggered. I actually have two. This particular automation is just when they submit their form. All right, so when they submit their form, I'm just going to make sure that if they're not a customer, I add the tag lead. But I also have an automation set up for when that tag is added. So they submit the form, they add the tag. And here you can see that I have several emails set up in the follow-up. So I have the delivery of the upgrade. I add a tag to make sure I know that's been sent. And then I have waiting periods, and then send it again. So these are things you can do. And we give you in our Epic blog posts emails already that you can use as your starting point. So you could send a couple tips, and then you could promote your course, and always make sure that you check if they've already bought. So you can see I've got people waiting, but you don't have to make it as complicated as this. You can just have your email follow-ups, and when you promote some sort of product, just check and make sure that they haven't already bought it. So that is in most email marketing platforms. When you connect it to your whatever shop, we're using WooCommerce, you can connect it and have it add a tag when you buy something. So I don't want to get too complicated here, but you can also just use it straightforward. Give them that content upgrade in the first email. So send an email. I have core values, content upgrade, and coupon. I've given a coupon as well. I see if they've clicked on it, send it again. I see if they've bought the product, and otherwise send more emails. And then when they're done, they just end the automation, or you could trigger another automation. So that's what it looks like as a slightly more complicated one in ActiveCampaign. All right, that we've connected. Let me just quickly show you lead pages as well, because if I mentioned this is the Thrive form, but I also kept an example of a lead pages one. This is an image that when they click on it, it pops up instead of filling it in right on the page. And sometimes you get higher conversions when you have that, what they call a two-step pop-up. All right, so this is what the lead pages form looks like. And in lead pages, I have a variety of different things, but this is a pop-up. And this is the content upgrade big list of core values. So if I click on edit, and you can see that that had a 65% conversion rate. Pretty good. All right, so that's loading up. So you can create any kind of design or form in lead pages similar to Thrive. It's just that you're doing it on a separate platform. And it's all drag and drop. So you can drag the image in, you can drag text in, lines, and you also have a form, just like Thrive did. So a lot of these tools work the exact same way. And then you can edit the integration. I already have this set up, but if you are just starting from scratch, you would integrate your email marketing platform. I can have notification get emailed to me, and there's all that integration there. And then when that's done, you pick your forms and all of that. So in the integration for ActiveCampaign, I've already picked that form. And then I want to go over to fields. So similar to what Sarah did as well, you want to have name and email, and you can arrange that there. And then at the end, you have that same sort of thing with actions. So here I have it going to a thank you page, could be a download page. I already have that form in ActiveCampaign over here. Where was the form? I already have that with a trigger to send the lead magnet. So I don't need to do that here. But one of the nice things I like in lead pages is that you can have them send the lead magnet for you. So you could have an email go immediately from lead pages. That has the pluses and minuses to it because obviously you want to be triggering things in your system too. But one efficient way to do this quickly is to have their system send the lead magnets, and then you can have other follow-ups in your marketing platform. And then when you're done, you can just grab some code and have that go to an image. I'm not going to show you that there, but you can see it all done in that blog post. So all I did was create this image. We actually used Canva for that, and took the code from lead pages and put it in here in an HTML block. So I hope that doesn't get too complicated for you, but most of these platforms will work the exact same way, and we'll give you a list of some different tutorials from different platforms because you'll need to look at how your own platform works. And I think that was everything I wanted to show you on there. Here's another one with that table of contents. See how long this is.
And it's got some really good elements in it. Not only has it got all of the depth, the steps, the nice table of content, it's got that infographic, and people love to pin those on Pinterest. So that's another source of traffic for the site.
And here you can see that we have that upgrade in there, but also some links to a couple related courses. And these could be in nice boxes too, like we did on this other page. So these we've now saved as elements that we can use in this page. So I would update this page to add a nicer looking call to action for those particular courses. So you can see that was quite long.
Yeah. Another thing to consider is quite often when people get content upgrades, they say things like, oh gosh, this person has got something and they want to sell it to me. If you've got some products that they're interested underneath your content upgrade, they know you're a business. They know that you're going to make some offers because they see it and they recognize it. So don't sit there and think to yourself that those offers underneath the content upgrade have to convert. The truth is they're doing their job just by being there, reminding the person that you're a business, that you're going to ask them to become a customer, that you're going to ask them to save hours and hours putting together courses, hours and hours of doing blog post funnels. I think this is what, a 60-minute blog post funnel? Or do you think that's overestimating the time that it would take to put together?
Oh, to actually put together the whole thing? Well, once you have the template set up, like we have a template already for an opt-in form, we have a form that we're reusing, but yeah, I would say maximum 60 minutes once you have some automation. Because the other thing in a site like ActiveCampaign is you can copy another automation. So when I'm setting up a new one like this, I would copy the automation that I did for the core values one and just change what it's delivering and what tag triggers it. Set up a new form the same way, use the same opt-in layout and blog post layout, so that all speeds it up. It's just the first time. So it's something like our epic blog post packs that have all the content. The first time you do it, it'll take you a little bit longer because you want to do your connection setup with your email marketing platform. You want to have whatever templates, but then it gets quicker and quicker each time because you're reusing those templates. So in this particular one that I was showing before, somewhere I think further down, we have other links as well. So we linked to our main shop. I had an extra link in here to the freebie, because sometimes it's nice to put that in the middle. But you'll also see there's links to tools. And most of these, if not all, are affiliate links. So another nice thing with an epic blog post is that you can earn other income from this just through affiliate links and generating a traffic to your affiliate links. So that's a nice little side benefit as well. So you can be promoting your courses, you can be earning affiliate income, all because people are drawn in, they're learning from it, they're going to want to click on all those different links in there. And the other thing, the one last thing I want you to mention, in those epic blog post packs that we give you, we also give you social media posts. So I think a lot of them have, say, 30. And you can use a tool like Canva, which the content upgrade is in that Sarah showed you, to create nice little images with those. So you can just use those as text and link to your blog post or something else. But ideally, you're linking to your blog post, but you can also put them on an image. So you can have the text and the image, and that will be more of a scroll stopper. And obviously, you can use them in other ways too. There's even ideas for more email follow-ups. So I just didn't want to forget those social media posts as well. All right, and remember though that we do have ones that are already done for you. Okay, the link that Sarah is showing now is for our epic blog post pack bundle number 1. So you don't have to go through and create all this stuff yourself. You can do what Sarah did and load it up and just edit what's there and have your mini funnel all ready to go. And there's even 5 of them in there on different topics.
I can't believe that. That is just, I'm just thinking you save around 3.5 hours of writing a week, and then you've got the emails already done, so you save another 3.5 hours there, and then you've got social media things as well, so let's call that 2 hours worth of work. So that's 9 hours, and if you bill out at $50 an hour, and that's a low estimate because all of the Content Sparks people are super smart, amazing people and bill out a lot more than that, but let's just call it $50. So that's $450 worth of time saved, and you're getting it for next to nothing. Sharon, we're going to have to talk about the pricing, okay? This is really just, you can't be giving this away.
No comment right now on that. But in the meantime, if you have questions at all, we're going to wrap up this training portion today, all the training on the Epic blog posts. But I want to make sure if you have questions, you can send them to support@contentsparks.com, and we will answer those as quickly as we can. But hopefully this gives you a really good starting point for setting up your Epic blog posts and getting those earning for you and getting you more traffic and leads and conversions and followers and all that fun stuff. All right, that's it for now. Take care.